Paul, Treetops School, spring 2011. What's the condition of the school, so to speak?
It's still flourishing. We're going really well. Last year our what's called CVA scores were the highest we've ever achieved. CVA stands for contextual value added. Our school's always done really well, 1,000 being the average score for any secondary school. That's Key Stage 2 to Key Stage 4. And last year we got our highest ever score, which is 1,093, which puts us in the top 5% of schools, all schools nationally. So we're very happy with that. School's still moving forward. We've still got a huge demand for places. We're obviously sitting in our new build now, 3 years on. We still haven't got enough space. We've just had to open a new classroom for children at the more severe end of the autistic spectrum, because families are looking at what we provide, looking at our Ofsted report, looking at things like our CVA score, and they're coming from all over the country to visit our school, and some families are actually moving to get into our school. So yeah, it's all happening.
Because my next question was going to be, I assumed that it was parents from Thurrock, but you're saying all over the country. That's an amazing achievement.
Yeah, we were not that proud of, actually, because obviously we want to be a Thurrock school, and we are a Thurrock school. And what we try to encourage when we get visitors from all over the place is to show them what we do here and encourage them to try and establish similar provision in their own location. And some are doing that. We're having visits from other local authorities who are looking at how we do it. Very much on what I would consider to be a shoestring. I'm sure, like all schools, we could do with a little bit more money. But yeah, we do balance our books, and we do provide what I think is considered to be excellent provision.
Take, for example, on exam day for GCSEs, do you get annoyed? I mean, we run around and get all 10 mainstream, if that's the right word, schools, and they're 5 A stars to C's, etc., etc. Do you get annoyed that there's other criteria, there's other parameters, so to speak?
I wouldn't say I get annoyed. I mean, perhaps a little frustrated sometimes. But no, I can understand that there are different pressures on mainstream schools, and they should equally be proud of their achievements, because I think our secondary schools have done a fantastic job over the last 6, 7, 8 years to raise their standards. We were talking earlier about Chafford 100, and now they were the most improved school. Was that last year or the year before?
Last year.
So yeah, there's a lot going on in Thurrock. We're just part of the bigger picture. Yeah, we could get applauded more. I mean, I did talk to Joe Olsen, our director, because in the Christmas newsletter it was talking about the schools that had done well in Ofsted, moved from one category to another. We actually didn't get a mention for being outstanding, and that was the second time in a row that we've achieved that status. I think March 2007 was the first time, March 2010 was the second time. So sometimes little things like that are annoying, but to be fair to Jo, she did remedy that, and she did apologise, and so I accepted that.
As a school, with staff, are you expanding at all? Are you looking for new staff?
We are, yes. I mean, we're in a situation where there are budget cuts, as we all know, and some schools are having to lay staff off. But because we're still expanding, because we're still having to create extra spaces due to the demand, it means we're having to recruit new staff. In fact, in about an hour and 10 minutes' time, I've got some more interviews to do.
And the quality of people wanting to come in these days in 2011, are the staff of 2011 different from, say, from 10 years ago?
I think they are, yes. I mean, we still struggle, the same again as a secondary college, to recruit teachers. Fortunately, we don't have a high turnover of teaching staff. Once people are here, they seem to enjoy the job, which is obviously a very critical factor. Support staff. The role has changed because of the nature of the difficulties that our kids face has changed over the last few years. We're getting more kids at the more severe end of the autistic spectrum, and they create their own set of challenges, and so the staff that are working with them have got a different set of skills, if you like, tend to be a bit younger, being ageist, and they tend to use it quite rightly as a stepping stone in their careers. It gives them that experience if they want to go on and be educational psychologists, clinical psychologists. Lots of them have social care backgrounds or psychology backgrounds. So yeah, we do see a very different type of member of staff.
Without getting political, you drive in here and you look in front of a building site. How long will that go on for?
Well, it should have been completed 3 years ago, as this whole site was. How long's a piece of string? We don't know. There's no clear end in sight. As you would know, the original intention was for this to be a special needs campus, which would include obviously our school, Treetops, a central community area that would be used for the special needs community at large, and for Beacon Hill School, which was supposed to be built on the land just adjacent, what the land you described as a building site. It is still, I think, a major embarrassment to us as a school, and to a large effect to the local authority, that you come here, we've got excellent facilities, as we said, we've got a reasonably good reputation, and when visitors come, they come on and they think, well, hold on, where's the school? Because all we can see is a bit of wasteland. But yeah, we've got now approval to build the first bit of phase 2, so we should in this summer have a dining hall built, have a kitchen, have a boiler house, because we've still only got a temporary boiler house, and some changing rooms. So that's due to start work this summer, this July, and it should be over within 6 to 7 months. So that bit will be built. But then it's really a matter of working hard to achieve our other goals. One of which is actually we're trying to create a vocational centre for our young people. We're trying to develop a garden centre and cafeteria, and we've got planning permission in for that at the moment, which is due to go on the 7th of April, and we're having a few problems with that.
Okay. First time I think we filmed about 3 years ago, and the students who have left, do you still keep in contact? Do they have still a sort of relationship with the school?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they can't stay away. Basically. No, I like to think that although the school's grown significantly, we've still got a family atmosphere. People still feel like they are part of our community, and yeah, the young people when they leave are frequent visitors. They'll come back. They'll offer help. We've had some work done on the playground, and there was lots of sort of the nasty jobs, moving bits of wood and stuff, and we have ex-pupils come back that come to the football club with me actually on a Wednesday after school, and they're allowed to call me Paul now. I said, oh Paul, do you want some help? Can we shift that gear for you? So they'll come back and do that, and obviously they don't want paying for it, which is just as well, because I wasn't going to pay them for it. And we do youth clubs after school. I mean, what we'd really like is to have that sports hall, and that so we can really develop provision for the wider SEN community and the young people that need a different place, somewhere where they feel safe, where they feel comfortable, where they're not going to feel like, if they misbehave or don't behave in what's considered to be a normal way, that people are going to be staring at them. We need that sort of community centre for them.
Again, finally, you mentioned people staring at them, so to speak. How far down the line have we got from does he take sugar? Are we still? Is there still elements of that?
No, there are still elements of that, and obviously I show parents around daily, if not twice a day, and we still talk about the stigma and the prejudice that's attached to special schools. But it's I've had this conversation before. That is all born out of ignorance, and unfortunately there are still a lot of ignorant people out there, and we need to educate them, because our kids are the best kids in the world.